I used to drag here back in high school. That railroad crossing up there is exactly a quarter mile away from here. On Green, I'm going for it.
Matters. Not the mortgage, not the store, not the team, not all their bullshit. Those 10 seconds were free. I'm free, that's it. Guys, this is the Pro Force Squad podcast. I'm Brian Banner. Alongside me, our enforced in their pay, Matthew Frederick Geiger. Geiger, how you doing tonight?
Banner, there's just something about cars that slows me down. I am so ready for the first Fast and the Furious Broback segment, man. Jeff, how are you feeling today?
Monica! That's how I'm feeling.
Awesome. As Geiger said, guys, this is our Broback segment of The Fast and the Furious, the 2001 classic, in preparation for the upcoming movie Fate of the Furious, which is hitting theaters soon. As you guys know, if you guys have listened to our reviews before, we hit our 5 categories: acting, casting, story, plot, best scene, impact on pop culture, and rewatchability. We're going to run through those 5 categories now, starting with acting, casting. Jeff, go ahead and start us off. What'd you feel about the cast and how they acted in this flick?
First off, Geiger, that was a scary, accurate impression of Jesse from this.
Really?
I got
Thanks.
that attention, hyper, that shit. That's what I got.
Yeah, that shit. He's like a slower version of Ryan Gosling, I think, or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and he's like on something, a lot of pills, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely on something.
But back to the task at hand,
Not.
the 2001 Rob Cohen directed Fast and Furious. Look, this cast, this is all these people in their roles that they need to be in. And Vin Diesel, one of the rare times that we actually get a legitimate performance out of him as Dom Toretto. The way that they've now written the character, he's kind of like a Steven Seagal type, a man of few words. So I love this movie. Everybody's in their element. I'm curious to hear what you guys think, Geiger, about the cast.
Vin Diesel's great in it. Paul Walker, enough said about those guys, but Brewster's really good in this too. I think it's one of her best roles until they kind of bring her back. Rodriguez, I don't think they give her that much to do, but whenever she's in it, I definitely buy her and Dom's love interest. Ja Rule, as we said a little bit ago, he's in it. If you blink, you miss him. And if you're any younger than us, you're going to be like, who the fuck is that guy? But he's in this too. The acting, yeah, sure. It's a fun movie. I'm not going to bash the acting. That'll come later when we get to the 4th and 5th one. So I'm just going to let that one be. What do you think, Banner?
Yeah, I mean, this is like all these people play the same person in every movie they're in. And this is bringing all those people together playing that role. Like, Michelle Rodriguez, is she ever not like that badass chick that always wants to fight everybody?
Whenever she came and lost on like season 3, I'm like, you're playing, what the hell? You're just playing the chick from Fast and Furious the whole time. It was actually terrible.
And her response to that would be, so what? You got a problem? You're like, okay, see, now that's my point. That's what you were trying to fight.
I just watched She's All That the other night too, and Paul Walker is exactly like he is in this. He didn't have as cool a car, but he was in high school, so what can he do?
Yeah, you know, the funds just weren't there. Let's just keep on moving on, guys. What do we think about the story and the plot for this movie? I mean, I think it's relatively simple. It's just, again, one of those movies. They're like, hey, let's make a car movie and make them street race, but we want to put some meat on the bone, and they just kind of got lucky and have 8 movies now.
I'll say this. I think this is the second best story in the franchise. I think the best one is Fast 5, which we'll get to a little bit later. But this one had, like you said, Banner, a premise that it knew what it wanted to be. It was like, let's just be a fucking street racing movie. Let's deal with 2 people from kind of different walks of life. Everyone's character motivation actually kind of makes sense in this movie, which is definitely not the case as we go on the franchise. So yeah, the story plot, it's simple, it works, and I think in the end, there's a few character through lines that actually we don't get to see in other movies. So I'm down with it.
I dug the story. It does make sense. It's believable. As Jeff said, all these characters actually feel like they are doing their parts, unlike the other movies. Johnny Tran's the only person I could do without, and his cousin Lance, who had frosted tipped hair. And
Jealous.
Lizard skin jeans, but he's supposed to be playing a tough guy. I didn't really buy that. And I get for the time that was okay, but stealing DVD players, I mean, if they would have done it 3 years ago, they would have been still in like a truckload of fucking Teletubbies or something, because those are worth money. But other than that, yeah, the story, I can watch it. I can watch it. It's fine.
It would have been funny if they're all like killing themselves to steal DVD players, and then by the time they get enough, it's like, oh, Blu-ray is a thing now. So sorry.
Yeah, Blu-ray's a thing now, or everyone just illegally downloads stuff.
Yeah, it's either that or they do the HD DVD. Do you guys remember when they tried to make those things cool?
Yep. I didn't buy the hype.
No, I didn't either. I just now started buying Blu-rays. I was still buying DVDs there for a while. Geiger, I know you still buy VHSs, so.
They're cheap, and they look just as good, yeah.
Quality's there. Yeah, I mean, it's just a fun story. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's a fun movie. We race cars, we blow shit up, and that's pretty much what it is.
And we get laid and drink Corona.
Get laid and drink Corona and eat fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's fun, and like you said, Jeff, I think it's one of the stronger stories in the franchise. Next up, this is a tough one. What's the best scene in the movie, guys?
Geiger, you can go
Jeff,
first.
Go first.
Okay, my favorite one is, and this gets made fun of so much, and I live my life a quarter mile at a time. And yeah, I get that part, but if you listen to the other dialogue before and after that, it's the only time in my life I ever remember Vin Diesel actually, what's that word? I'll have to look at acting. He actually acted in this scene. It was very fantastic when he talked about his dad and how he died, and I think he beat the guy to death with a fucking tire iron or something. But the way he delivered it, it was the only time I think in this whole series where I actually felt, something in my stomach that I actually really cared deeper than just wanting to watch cars go really fast and shit get blown up. So I'm going to pick that as my favorite scene. What about you, Jeff?
So I had a battle here. One of my favorite lines in the movie is, "The Buster was the only one keeping me out of handcuffs."
Yeah,
that's a good one. I had to go with the visual is kind of iconic when him and Dom race at the very end and they barely jump the train tracks. That's like the one shot that's always used, and he says, "I owe you a 10-second car," and gives him his ride and lets Dom drive away. That was my favorite scene. I think it was just a really cool ending, and I know that a lot of people cringe and laugh at like some of the attempts at making you feel emotion in this movie, but that one worked for me, man. I felt the relationship. Dom at that time just had a respect for Brian that he didn't think he would have. So that was my favorite scene. Banner, what do you got?
You guys both went with serious scenes, like probably the only two serious scenes of the movie. Fuck that. I'm going with the car chase scene with the motorcycles and they're all jumping everywhere. That's just a cool chase scene. We all know I'm a sucker for chase scenes.
Is this the one at the very end with Johnny Tran and Lance?
Yes, with Johnny Tran, yeah. And he's
Lance.
got like the Uzis.
Fucking Lance.
He's like...
What's he like? Okay. Nailed it.
Yeah. Guys, I love chase scenes, and it was a good chase scene. I mean, if there's one thing a Fast and the Furious movie is going to give you, it's a good chase scene.
100.
Let's be honest. All right, guys. Impact on pop culture. This one's going to be fun. I'll go first. This is like a weird franchise. Let's be honest. This franchise has now gone for 16 years. Do you guys believe that?
No.
My God.
Like,
When I saw
who
this,
thought a bunch of street racing cars could have a through line and a franchise that spans almost 2 decades?
they're going to space next. I'm fucking telling you guys.
The effects on pop culture are huge just because it is like every April we just expect this. It's almost became like the Masters. Every April I just expect Augusta and Rose Blooms and Vin Diesel and, I mean, Paul Walker's not with us anymore, but the rest of the gang, you know, in a shitty movie with no plot, but I'm going to be entertained. So the effects on pop culture, dare I hate to say it, is absolutely huge. It's whenever you think of summer blockbusters, you think superheroes, you probably think, you know, some type of Transformers crap, and you think this movie. So it's huge to me. What about you, Jeff?
Fast and Furious, a tradition unlike any other.
Any other Jim Dance?
Yeah, this has huge effects on pop culture, man. Whether you think they're good movies or not, you can't deny they're entertaining as shit. Like Geiger said, it's almost like a biannual or every other year type occasion. And I think one thing this did, it actually, a lot of times you would think when a movie like this comes out, other people are going to try and make street racing movies. A lot of people are just scared to even try and compete with this in terms of street racing. There aren't many movies about it. We got that really shitty Need for Speed movie a few years ago. But even when you see the trailer, you're like, all right, bro, you're not Fast and Furious. Which doesn't make sense because these movies are stupid, but they're also fucking awesome. So I think this one had a pretty big effect on pop culture.
Banner, before we go on to rewatchability, Fast and the Furious are like when the HR person at your work always has like an employee picnic and everyone hates going, they don't want to go, and one year they don't have it and everyone just bitches because like, why don't we have an employee picnic? If you didn't have one of these movies in April, like there'd be looting in the streets, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Back to you, Banner.
Yeah, I'm going to say this too, like making a street racing movie like this is tough in its own right, but let's be honest, if this one hadn't been as decent as it was and they didn't put the people in place, we wouldn't have all of these other ones. And then how fitting was it? I mean, I know this is sad and this is probably a little fucked up to say, but how fitting was it that Paul Walker died in a car accident?
Very.
Yeah.
Like, if there was any other way for him to go, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But because he went this way, going a quarter mile at a time, I mean,
I don't want to
worked.
talk about that anymore. Move on.
Next. Yeah, we could have gone dirty places there. Last thing, rewatchability. Guys, if this is on TV, I'm watching it 100%. If any of them are on TV, I'm leaving it on that channel for the next hour and a half.
I can watch this. I don't know if I could watch it once a month or twice, but about once every 3 months I could watch it. It is a very fun movie. You know, it's a summer movie for sure. So, yeah, if it's on, I even have it on DVD. I'll pop it in about once or twice a year.
Yeah, I'm right in between you guys. If this is on TV, I'm definitely watching it at least until like the next commercial or for 20 minutes. But it is a movie that can kind of get overexposed. Like if you watch it too many times, you're like, oh God, what am I doing with myself? But it's a fun film, man.
If there's a Fast and the Furious marathon on, like, all right, I'm not doing anything else the rest
For
of the
some
weekend.
reason, that's more appealing to me than just watching one of them. I'd rather just watch 7. I don't know. It's disgusting. I'm a sick person.
All right, guys, that is our Broback review on the 2001 classic, The Fast and the Furious. Guys, you guys can find us on our website, www.bro4squad.com. We have a Twitter at Bro4Squad, Facebook, Bro4Squad, 3 words. Write us a review on iTunes. Make sure you subscribe and leave us a comment on YouTube. Again, that's Bro4Squad and Bro4Squad.com. For the rest of the guys, I am Brian Banner. We will see you next time.
Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.